Hello students, welcome to a class of conversational English. In this class today, we will be learning about famous historical monuments and architecture. Dear students, you might be wondering why we need to study history in conversational English. Students, history is a subject which helps us understand change and how the society we live in came into being. That is, by studying history, we will come to know how the human society has evolved over the years. I believe some of you might have studied history when you were in college or when you were in school. In the corporate world, though, history may not be of direct use to you all, but it is good to know knowledge and it will help you to take part in the conversation associated with history more confidently. Dear students, the lesson objective for today's class is, at the end of this class, you should be able to describe famous historical buildings and architecture. So students, please take out your conversational English textbook from the second semester and refer to the third unit. Dear students, now let us first understand what are historical monuments. Historical monuments are fixed assets that are identifiable because of particular historic, national, regional, local, religious, symbolic significance. Now students, look at these two images. The first one is of the pyramids in Egypt and the second one is our very own Ronghor located in Sibsagar. Now historical monuments can be easily identified because they are of historic, national, regional, local and religious significance for a particular country or for a particular region. Dear students, let's start with the various terms. The first term is acroterion. Acroterion is a decorative piece added to the roof of a temple at the apex and corners. So look at this image here. This is a decorative piece which is added to the corners and also at the apex of a temple. So apex is the top or the highest part of something. Now imagine there is a building. Normally a building will have four corners, right? So at the four corners you can expect an acroterion. So this is the image of an acroterion. Now the next term is Atlantide. Look at this image here. Atlantide is a sculpted male figure acting as a column to support an entablature. Now column is basically a pillar. So Atlantide is basically a pillar and it supports a building. Entablature is a kind of historical building. We will learn about this later. So Atlantide is nothing but a pillar which supports a building and that pillar is in the form of a male figure. Can you see here in this image? It looks like a person, right? Male person. So that is an Atlantide. Dear students, the next term is Edicula. Now in ancient Roman religion, an edicula is a small shrine. So students, you might have heard about the Roman Empire. So this was the kingdom which was present in Rome, that is present day Italy. Now the people of this kingdom had their own religion, and in their religion, edicula is basically a small shrine. So what is a shrine? Shrine is a place regarded as holy because of its associations with a divinity or a sacred person. So basically shrine is a kind of burial place. If you see in India, we also have some very famous shrines. One is Haji Ali in Mumbai. Okay, so there were some saints in the past, and when they die, the place where they are buried, it's turned into a shrine. There people go and worship. So that is a shrine. In Roman religion, the shrines were known as edicula. The next term is attic story. Please look at this image here. Now it is the part placed above the entablature of a building. Now I will try to explain this by giving you an example. Imagine a Assam type house. All of you know, right, what is Assam type house? So there is tin and then there is the house. So in Assam type house, we see that at the top there is the tin and then there is the roof. Now the roof can be made of asbestos or some other thing. In between the tin and the roof there is a gap. Okay, now in some houses there is an option like this gap they convert into a place where people can go. There can be a ladder, people can walk and enter this gap, and in that gap it can be used as a storeroom, or there can be a small place to stay also. So this is known as attic. So basically attic is like at the top there is the at the roof, then between the roof and the the tin there is some gap, and that is the attic. Dear students, the next term is architrave. Architrave is a mid beam resting across the tops of columns. So students, please look at this image here. So there are 6 columns. So columns are basically pillars. So can you see there are 6 pillars here, and then there is the building, and look at this red line. So the entire building is resting on the pillars, and the red line, which is known as the architrave, is supporting the entire building. So this is the lowermost layer of the entire entablature, which is the architrave. Now the next term is buttress. Buttress is a structure of stone or brick built against a wall to strengthen or support it. So basically a buttress supports a wall. So look at this building here. So this is the building and these are the buttresses. So this is the buttress. Now this buttress is supporting the wall or the building from falling down. Dear students, the next term is capital. In architecture, capital forms the topmost member of a pillar. Now please look at this image here. So this is a pillar, right, or a column. Now at the top there is a design portion, the portion with design. So this portion which is having the design and decoration is known as capital. So that is the topmost part of a pillar, that is known as capital, and the capital is directly connected to the entablature. The next term is cella. So please look at this image here. Cella is the inner chamber of an ancient Greek or Roman temple. Now look at this image here. This is a temple, and in Greece and in Rome in the ancient times, the temples, so the inner chamber of the temple was known as cella. So in this picture here, can you see this is a temple? So though it is in ruins now, so these are the walls. In between there is empty space, which is the inner chamber, and this inner chamber is known as cella. Dear students, the next term is caryatid. Caryatid is a sculpted female figure acting as a column to support an entablature. So students, we had already learned before that any pillar which is in the form of a male person is known as atlantide. Similarly, a pillar which is in the form of a female figure is known as caryatid. So you can see in this image the pillars are in the form of females, and these are known as caryatid. The next term is column. Column is used to support the architecture without the necessity of a wall. So column is basically a pillar. You can see different types of pillars here, and then a group of columns is known as colonnade. So pillars, these several pillars together we call it as colonnade, and a single pillar is known as a column. Dear students, the next term is cavea. The seated area of a theatre usually built into a natural slope is known as cavea. So in the ancient times, there used to be open air theatres. At the center there used to be the stage where the artist used to perform, and then the audience used to sit, and the place where the audience used to sit was known as cavea. Please look at this image here. You can see at the center there is the stage, and then surrounding the stage there are the seats where the people used to sit. So it is like a modern day stadium wherein any sport is played. Now cavea was normally constructed in an area of natural slope. So if you look at this image here, it looks like this is a stone mountain. Okay, and at the center there is the plain area, and then surrounding it is the mountain. So it was easier to build these seats because that portion was having a natural slope. So this is the cavea. The next term is cornice. Cornice is the decorative projecting part at the top of the entablature which also aids in drainage of rainwater. Please look at this image here, the corner portion. You can see some decorative design here. So this is the cornice. So any building, the corners and the edges, there used to be some design, and this design was known as cornice. And this design was done in such a way that the rainwater will get out through those designs without damaging the building or without falling down directly. So this is the cornice. Dear students, the next term is Decca style temple. A temple with 10 columns at each facade is known as Decca style temple. So students, I believe you know what Decca means. Decca means 10. Similarly, hexa means 6. Similarly, penta means 5. So Decca style temple is a temple where there are 10 columns at each facade. So what is a facade? Facade is the principal front of a building that faces onto a street or open space. So please look at this image here, look at this temple here. So look in front, there are like 10 pillars here. So this is the front part of the temple, this is known as the facade, and this facade is having 10 pillars. So this is a Decca style temple. Now the next term is Creepidoma. Now Creepidoma refers to the 3 steps on which stand the columns of a temple. Now please look at this image here. These are the columns here. So columns are basically the pillars. Now the pillars are not directly connected to the ground. There are 3 layers before the pillar and in between the pillar and the ground. These 3 layers are basically 3 steps. Now these 3 steps are known as Creepidoma. Now out of these 3 steps, the final top step is known as Stylobed. So this is the topmost step is known as Stylobed. So students, with this I am completing today's session. So as I have said previously, the terms which are present in this session, the terms which you learned in this session today may not be of much use to you in your corporate life, but this is always good to know knowledge, and by knowing all these terms you will be more confident in discussing about history or architecture. So students, please check this video, read your textbook, and do ask me if you have any more questions. I will see you again later. Thank you.